Uh, Today's vlog is going to be in English, so excuse me for my grammatical errors if any. The reason behind I'm going to put this vlog in English because the place that I'm going to visit has some historical importance. And when it comes to the history of Maharashtra or the history of India, we feel that this history should not just remain within the state or within the country, but I want all the people outside India to know about those places, why we call them as historical places. So the fort that we are going to visit today is the Ghodbunder Fort, which is located in the district of Thane. In the description, I will let you know on how to reach this place. So finally, we have reached the Ghodbunder Fort. You can see just right behind me. Currently, there is an work going on, so they have asked me to be very careful, be very safe when we are going inside this fort. So there is a very narrow entrance through which we can enter inside the fort. So let's go inside and see. Only one person can go or come. So if you are coming in groups or if there is a lot of crowds, so make sure that you maintain some discipline. So there is a spare room here which has now been modified. So basically this looks to be a room where the soldiers might have rested. They might have kept some of their armors over here. And this steps will take me now to the top of this fort. The city of Mira Road. And right there you can see the Ulhas River, or also known as the Vasai Creek. And behind me is the local Ghodbunder village through which you have to enter this fort. The history of this fort takes you back to the era when the Portuguese have invaded this country. So basically the fort was built by the Portuguese. The Portuguese used to call this as Cacabe Tana. This was not only the fort they have built over here, but the fort at Vasai, the Nagla Fort, Gaimukh Fort. So these are some of the forts built in the Thane area. Ghoda as in horse, and Bandar means port. So, as per the history, the Arabs used to sell their horses, so they used to trade from this part, and this is the reason why this port got a very significant importance back in those Portuguese era. And this is when they named this port as Ghodbunder. So, in those days, the Arabic horses had a huge market. The British, the Portuguese, French, Dutch, everyone used to purchase horses from them. As I said earlier, the Ghodbunder Fort was built by the Portuguese. It has been said that the ruler of the Maratha Empire, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, knew the importance of this fort, and he also laid an attack on this fort. This fort is so strategically placed. Maharaj knew the importance and decided to capture it and bring it under the Maratha Empire. Despite of his efforts, somehow the Portuguese defended this fort from the Maratha army. After that, As per history, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj also tried to capture this fort. Despite of their efforts, they were unable to capture this fort. But the Marathas didn't give up. Finally, in the year 1737, under the command of Chimaji Appa, the Marathas led an attack on this fort again. They not only captured the Vasai fort, but they also started to capture the region around and the small forts that guarded this creek. And finally, the Marathas were able to enter this fort, and the saffron flag of Maratha started to flutter on the Ghodbunder Fort. The history states that almost 200 to 250 Portuguese soldiers have sacrificed themselves defending this fort, and this is how the Ghodbunder Fort then became an integral part of the Maratha Empire. The Marathas were able to hold this fort until 1818, after which, as per history, the British East India Company took over the administrations of this fort, and they appointed their first district collector for Thane, and he was positioned right on this fort. So this fort also had some importance during the British era as well. Since 1818 until 1947, till the time India got the independence, this fort remained under the supervision of the British government. After the British left India, the forts are taken care by the Archaeological Survey of India, and now you can see behind me that lot of renovation work is going on.